Today, we're diving into the world of brand new midsize SUVs to help you navigate which ones deserve a spot in your driveway and which ones you'd probably be best just to steer clear of. And we're starting with one of the absolute best. First up is the Honda Pilot. If reliability is your idea of fun, then the Pilot might just be your spirit animal. With a proven 3.5-liter V6 engine that's even more dependable than your childhood Labrador, this SUV promises and delivers on longevity. And while Honda's reputation for building ultra-reliable vehicles has been slightly tarnished over the last few years, and with the 3.5-liter V6 itself having potentially incorrectly machined crankshafts, it all might come as a surprise it makes this list. But besides that issue that only affects models built between 2015 and 2020, and all of those are being fixed completely under recall, the Pilot and its engine are well proven, and their secondhand pricing reflects that. It's a well-rounded, well-made SUV that, while a little short on driving engagement and frills, makes up for it with raw simplicity that will outlive the dog and maybe even you. Also, if you don't need 3 rows of seats, consider its little brother, the Honda Passport, the slightly smaller version that has basically all the same perks. What doesn't have all the same perks though, and is one you're probably best to avoid, is the Jeep Grand Cherokee. Real quick though, if you're in the market for a set of new wheels, you've got to check out AutoTempest.com. It's our go-to website for finding new and used cars across all the most popular platforms on the internet, with just a few simple clicks. Click the link in the description below. Now, onto that Jeep. The Jeep Grand Cherokee has long been a popular choice, but year after year, it's plagued by inconsistent build quality and higher than average repair costs. While some owners swear by it, if I'm completely honest, my personal experience with the model over the years has been pretty good. Many others have faced constant headaches. Its high price and relatively poor resale value only add to the list of reasons to be cautious with this one. And it's a shame, because it seems like if you're lucky enough to get a good one, they're honestly pretty solid SUVs. An SUV you don't have to be cautious with though, and maybe my personal top pick in the segment, is the new Mazda CX-90. If you're craving fun-to-drive luxury but aren't so into the idea of selling an organ, take a good hard look at the new Mazda CX-90. With a robust turbocharged inline-6 and an available plug-in hybrid variant, the CX-90 is capable of combining performance, luxury, and fuel efficiency better than pretty much anything else in its class. Inside, you'll find a beautifully crafted interior, top-tier technology, and plenty of space. Safety? Check. Reliability? Double check. And the fact that, in my opinion, it's one of the better looking SUVs on the market, and it won't put you to sleep behind the wheel, that's just the icing on this Japanese cake. Mazda's stellar reputation all but ensures you're making a solid long-term investment. And between you and me, if I was in the market for a mid-size, 3-row capable family hauler, the CX-90 would be at the top of my list. Same can't be said for our next pick though, the Kia Sorento. On paper, the Sorento is an SUV with a lot to like. It looks good with its tech-forward design and comes packed with some pretty advanced features and safety systems for a relatively low price. Add in its best-in-class powertrain warranty and the fact that you've got a hybrid option, and on the surface, choosing a Sorento sounds like a no-brainer. But dig a bit deeper and you'll find a history of reliability issues, especially with its transmission and notoriously problematic engine. Multiple recalls and poor ratings from Consumer Reports make this SUV a gamble. And while, yes, powertrain problems are covered for 10 years and 100,000 miles, the best warranty is the one you never actually have to use. For those that want their SUVs to double as off-road beasts, the Toyota 4Runner is kind of the go-to. You can go for the outgoing 2024 model that's built like a tank with a bulletproof and time-tested 4-liter V6 engine, or you can step into this decade and pick up the all-new, completely redesigned 2025 model that takes everything we all loved about the old one and turns it up to 11. Yes, the legendary V6 is gone, but it's been replaced with a powerful and efficient turbocharged 4, and Toyota's iForce Max hybrid system is available. The new 4Runner is awesome. It's more powerful, more efficient, comes with an interior and safety features that are modern and work extremely well, and given Toyota's reputation, this SUV could still totally outlast the zombie apocalypse. The downside? Well, the 2024 guzzles gas like there's no tomorrow. Tech is a bit outdated, and as for the 2025, getting one at MSRP might be tough for a little while. With that, it's hard to go wrong with a 4Runner. and its highest-in-class resale value is all the proof you need. On the flip side, one of the SUVs with the worst resale value is the Buick Enclave. The Buick Enclave shares its platform with the Chevrolet Traverse and GMC Acadia, and unfortunately, it shares their build quality and reliability woes too. Problems with its 3.6-liter V6 engine and 9-speed automatic transmission that are well documented, along with body trim and interior bits that feel cheaply made and fragile, mean it's an SUV you might want to avoid. Compounding those issues, it's also expensive for what you get, and it doesn't hold its value well. If a 3-row SUV is in your future, you'd be much better off taking a look at our next pick, the new Toyota Grand Highlander. If you like everything about the 4Runner but want something just that extra bit more refined and a little bit more on-road focused, do yourself a favor and go drive the new Toyota Grand Highlander. It's essentially a bigger, slightly more upscale version of the regular Highlander, offering 3 solid powertrains, including a high-output hybrid. It's spacious, tech-savvy, and boasts an impressive safety rating. This SUV may not be ultra-flashy, but it excels in all the areas that matter most to families, including fuel efficiency. With up to 362 horsepower and an EPA estimated 27 miles per gallon, the Grand Highlander is an excellent choice. Fortunately, the same can't be said for our next pick. The Volkswagen Atlas is another SUV that looks great on the surface. It's spacious, well-designed, packed with features, and has the allure of German engineering wafting all over it. However, its Achilles heel is its reliability. Owners report frequent engine, transmission, and electronic issues, and repairs can be costly. Like the Jeep Grand Cherokee though, some owners report that the Atlas has been one of the best vehicles they've ever owned, so it might be worth the gamble. Just maybe strongly consider splurging on the extended warranty. An SUV you probably don't need an extended warranty for though, and this might come as a surprise, is today's first honorable mention, the BMW X5. I don't need to tell you that BMW as a brand doesn't really have the best reputation for dependability or reasonable cost of ownership. But when the boys in Bavaria redesigned the X5 in 2019, they got serious about turning that reputation around. The X5 40i with its 3-liter turbocharged inline-6 that's paired to the bulletproof ZF 8-speed transmission is not only sophisticated, supremely comfortable, and fun to drive, but it's got probably the most solid overall build quality of an SUV this size. It's quick, well-made, and comes packed with next-generation technology. And best of all, it all works. With the Consumer Reports overall score of a whopping 94 out of 100, it's the highest-ranked SUV in the game. So why is it just an honorable mention then? It comes down to price. To get an X5 spec the way you'd want, it will drive the price to well over 70 grand. And while this generation of the X5 does seem to hold its value pretty well, of the SUVs that make the recommended buy list, this one will end up costing you the most over a 5-year period. If resale is something that's important to you, take a look at our final pick. But before we get there, it's time for another SUV that you might want to avoid, and it's the Ford Explorer. The Explorer is one of America's most famous models. However, the current generation doesn't seem to be performing well, which is disappointing, especially when you consider that it's built by a company as large and as old as Ford. The main reason here why it's tough to recommend the Explorer is that it only has a 1 out of 5 predicted reliability score according to Consumer Reports. With that said though, Ford has sold a ton of these babies, and they're still the vehicle of choice for police departments across the country. So are they really that bad? I don't really know. If you own or have owned an Explorer, sound off in the comments. I want to know how it's worked out for you. Let's move on to the last pick of the list. Finally, for those who insist on a luxury badge, but aren't willing to compromise on a more budget-friendly overall ownership experience, the Lexus RX is probably the move. It's the epitome of reliability and value blended with luxury. With its excellent build quality, plush interior, and a range of efficient powertrains including hybrids and a plug-in hybrid option, the RX is a top contender. You can't get it with a third row, and some of the driver assistance and safety systems are a little bit aggressive for some, but overall, there's a lot to like about the current rendition of Lexus's legendary SUV. So, There are some of the top and bottom rated picks in the midsize SUV segment. There are a ton of vehicles in this category, so if you found this helpful or even just entertaining, let us know which other models you'd like to see us cover down in the comments. Do me a favor and give this video a like, and consider subscribing to Ideal for more automotive content coming along almost every day. My name's Trav, this is Ideal, thank you all for watching, we'll see you next week.